October 28th and it is 75 degrees outside.
And this morning we had a little hiccup. Matt hit the shop. So I'm staying far back while he fixes it.
After a 24-hour rain delay, the sun is back out and we're heading back to the field. Looks like we're gonna get part of the day in. I don't know if we'll get a whole day in. Rain is supposed to move in, I think, late this afternoon, or sometime this evening, and rain chances and rain amounts keep on going up with every forecast. So what we don't get out today, most likely we will be suffering some yield loss and some loss on grade. So the more bales we can get under some plastic, the better off we'll be. However, in addition to the rain delay, we also had a delay of my own making. Everybody tells me that handler back there, when it's in transport mode, really sticks out a long ways, and sure enough, I found out it does. Whenever I was maneuvering around the shop to try and get over to the fuel pump, hit the corner of my shop with a handler. Yep, dented the panel on the side of the handler, and also put a nice permanent scar on my shop. So as you can imagine, I'm in a real pleasant mood. As if we don't have enough issues with just the random stuff going on. I sure don't need to be creating other issues for myself, which I seem to have a habit of doing. But on another note, I think we got all of my lighting issues fixed on this picker, so hopefully that thing won't be popping up a code every 2 to 3 minutes, annoying the heck out of me. And I think everything on this picker is now ship shape, hopefully. Can't say the same for my litter spreader though. We got the rate and controller and stuff installed yesterday, and everything reads, able to read fan speed, but I cannot cut the belt on the chain, on the feed chain. I was able to hot wire 12 volts up to the solenoid and get the chain to run that way, but there's no control of the chain to control the amount. And of course, BBI was there. Awesome customer service, has yet to call me back about it, and considering it's a Saturday, I don't expect a phone call until Monday at the very earliest. You know, it's not like, you know, we don't have chicken litter that needs to be spread today, which I could be spreading if I had a functioning spreader. And I'd have a functioning spreader that someone from BBI would actually return a freaking phone call. Tell you what, worst customer service I've ever had in my life. Called them at like 2 o'clock yesterday. I guess they must go home real early on a Friday. But anyway, enough ranting. Here's the field. Let's see if we can make that white turn to brown. That's what we picked up tonight. We got 10 big modules off of 14.7 acres. That comes out to a little over 2.5 bale an acre. Mighty fine cotton. 14.7 acres out of 95. See if we can whittle that down a little bit. And you got some new fuel filters for the 4440, so hopefully it'll be running better, won't be dying out on them.
So we're over on Pete's farm. It used to be the red barn right there. That fell over last year. Matt has just picked some of the end rows and all of this. And we've got 8 10 rolls already ready. We don't call them in until the farm is almost completely done or we're moving to another section. So I think when we get this section done and we move behind a house over there, we'll start building them, and then I'll call the gin and say, hey, I've got, you know, we call them in modules, so I'll say there's 1, 2, and say I've got 4 more over here. I'll say I've got 4, and then maybe 2 standalones, and then they come pick them up. And yes, because it is October, I like to draw pumpkins on mine. we're kind of close to the road, even though I couldn't face the road. When we used to do modules, you know, we'd ride on the side, you know, like t-shirts and underwear, and really start to educate people. The problem with these is you really can't ride a whole lot. So hopefully when we get into town, I can position them where I can like write certain things on like the front and the back. So it's, like I said, an absolutely gorgeous day. I kind of wish I was in my pool right now, but we still have a lot to go. Yeah, Andy's coming. We're going to service the bush hog. We already blew it off the other day, so kind of figuring that it would rain, so didn't want all that junk on there. So he's gonna change out the filters and put something else on there. I don't know. I still have a brain these days.
Ah, there he is. He's waving. Yeah, my partner in crime. He's coming in hot. There he is. Yeah, it's time to service this awesome 4440 that everybody loves, and we kind of wish we'd push off in a ditch. So, Lampley's have still offered a bologna sandwich for a trade, and I don't know. We might have to up it to a chicken sandwich because bologna is just not my thing. Are you excited? Are you excited to be back out here?
Ready for some work?
Yeah. Look, the hawks are already out, screaming at each other.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. We don't say that. We don't. Shh, quiet. I was telling everybody that like last year, or the year before, that the Lampleys said that they would trade a bologna sandwich for that 4440. I'm thinking inflation.
Bologna sandwich sounds pretty good.
But I'm thinking inflation. We might have to up it to a chicken sandwich.
At least with some mayo on it.
Like some cheese. Can we throw some bacon on there?
Then
Something.
you can have the blade and all.
Yeah. You heard it here live, people. You can have the blade and all. You throw some cheese, mayonnaise, and some bacon on a sandwich, and we might just trade it for it.
Gonna have some.
Okay, so these are glass filters. They're fancy.
They can't be over what, 30 psi? Something,
No, it's
something
weird.
like that.
So,
Something
had to get new ones because the tractor was just dying, and I think he got really tired of that. Ooh, that's the notification that Matt has left the shop. So, El Capitan has left the shop, people. So it kept dying, and even though we were blowing out the radiator, he'd just be over there just trucking along, and then just done. He'd just be sitting there.
It would sputter, it would run perfectly fine, and then it would sputter, and then it would die.
And it just died. That's why.
And cranking it back up.
For a nice chicken sandwich with bacon, mayonnaise, and cheese, you could have yourself a 4440 with lots of problems.
And 2 brand new filters.
And 2 brand new glass filters, which I don't even want to see the bill for that one. That's expensive. So, El Capitan is on his way, so we're gonna get this done and get going and hope that Mother Nature just stays away for a little bit. Oh, it's weird. There's no wind out here. Listen.
0.
It's super quiet.
Did you hear that?
Did you hear that?
I heard a mouse fart.
I heard a mouse fart. You heard it right here, folks. We heard a mouse fart. There's like no wind.
Alright, we got our tractor running. We got the new filters on, and it's running good. Took like 30 seconds to get it started, which is fantastic, but as you can see, Matt's out there cutting cotton, so we gotta get caught up. I'm just waiting for Kelly to bring my necessities, which is my phone holder and my radio. So as soon as she gets out here, we're gonna start cutting some stalks.
Well, we got us a mess here. This happens, I don't know, a couple times a year, and I ain't never figured out where you get a blockage back here in between the front drum and the rear drum, and then you're picking, and the gems are full of stalks. So gotta pull them all out, and that stuff is sharp. It will tear your hands up. You gotta pull it out stalk by stalk. So alright, we got it cleared out. There's some cotton wrapped up on the spindle, so we're trying to run the flush valve and get all the cotton off the spindles there. Alright, that cleaned them up pretty good. I'm still going to hit the flush valve every time I turn around for a few rounds. Make sure to get the spindles all good and clean. That looks pretty good. So go ahead and put our pressure plate back set and go back to picking.
All right, time to tag it.
Also time to do something else too. We got something broke, add to the list. There we go. I can't get out the door without whacking it open. So now we're gonna tag and paint our module. So far we made 6, and number 7 is in the field across the way. Ooh, that sun is hot. I know we got lots of rain coming soon, so trying to tag them and bag them. This is what it attempts to look like. This is on a slope, so I kind of just like made it to where the truck can back up and just either that way or this way, just get them up in there. So gotten this field halfway done. I don't know why Matt went around the tree line, but I guess that's what he's doing over there. You know, you just follow, because even in the combine or the picker, it don't matter. He's gonna go where he wants to go. I think Andy's got that like in 9th gear. Just like that, it's tagged. Put the tag up there in the corner, so when they come to pick it up, they grab their copy and it stays nice and tucked in there all the way to the gin. And then when they weigh it there, they take that tag number and then they put this entire farm in a corner or wherever they want in the lot, and they flag them off. It's pretty neat.
All right, we've been rolling on along. We've had a pretty dang good day today so far, other than you know, me hitting my corner of my shop with the rear end and then that one choke up. We've been rolling right on along on this old rough steep hill ground, and I'll be glad when we get to some of my bigger flatter fields, and you know, we can walk the dog on those fields. Yeah, but picking between 3.5 and 4.5 miles an hour just to keep my headers out of the ground, keep from slamming them against the ground, when I know this thing is capable of 5 miles an hour. It's kind of tough, but when you farm some of the roughest ground in West Tennessee, that's what you got to deal with. But we get some high yielding cotton. I mean, my yield monitor showing over 1,100 pounds. Don't really know how close it was. We did get our first gin results back. I called about the Dunlap farm. The first cotton we picked yesterday averaged 1,518 pounds per acre. Highest farm average I've ever had for my life. Just, man, just fantastic, fantastic. Then multiply that by, I don't know what, we'll probably wind up getting, you know, somewhere in ballpark of 80 to 85 cents a pound. Just depending on what it grades out at and how much of a seed check we're getting from the gin. So multiply that times 80 cents a pound. That's a pretty nice payday. Definitely going to be one of the more profitable crops we've grown this year. But heck, all of them have been profitable. It's extremely rare where you hit on all of your crops like this in one year. Because normally the conditions that lead to real high corn yield do not lead to real high cotton yield, because for real high corn yields you need a little bit cooler weather, plenty of moisture. For really high cotton yields you need warmer temperatures and drier conditions. I believe the warmth we had there in kind of late September, early October was probably the difference in this cotton crop. But man, if we hadn't had to replant, well, 80% of our cotton, you know, all of it would have been a lot closer to that 1,500 pound range that our first farm did, rather than, you know, 1,200 pound range. Still no sign of rain on the horizon, so looks like we might, just as I thought we was running good, have a unit plugged up. Now one of my doors plugged up here. The joys of cotton pickers. There, we got our door unplugged. But you gotta get this off. Now this is what a spindle does. You see how see how the cotton is wrapped around the spindle? That's how it grabs the cotton off the stalk there. But since it was choked up there by my doffer, you know, there was no place for it to go.
So I'm having to drop it and pick it back up because it's not raising it all the way up. We don't know why, but I was told by another farming friend that sometimes you just gotta lower it and pick it back up till you can get a good height. Right now I'm at 88. I should be at 100, but it is what it is at this rate. Better than what it was a couple days ago at 56, and it was dragging across stalks, and then that's just bad.
I'm glad I was watching my camera. It's telling me it's done and it's ready to eject, but I don't see any plastic right there. We might have had our first miswrap of the season. Let's go back there and see what's going on and see if I need to put this razor blade knife to work cutting plastic off rolls or not. Kind of peering through there, it looks like I got, looks like the rolls got wrapped. And ain't no problem here at the feeding mechanism. It might not just have pulled over on this edge real good. I know I've had problems with about 5 or 6 rolls on the other side not wrapping the edge. And looking here, that might be the problem. Yeah, I can see wrap through there. It's just the wrap's just not going around the edge for whatever reason. People tell me the reason for that is that the belts aren't quite tracking straight, which I've checked the tracking, they look good, but again, I'm a long ways from an expert, so looks like it's safe to eject. All right, let's go ahead and send her out the back there. Please be yellow all the way across when that camera comes back down. Oh yeah, it looks all right, but see right there, it ain't going all the way across the edge. Well, we dodged a bullet on that one. Just so we'll get out anyway. Look at my water tank. It looked like it was down below the level of the sight glass, so we're gonna go fill up with some water. Be good for another 40 acres or so. Well, other than a few minor hiccups, today's been a real pleasant day. Been running relatively smoothly here. The only problem is we just on this rough ground. It used to be a cattle farm, and it probably should still be in a cattle farm, but we're making some dang good cotton off of it, over 1,100 pounds on some replanted like May 24th, 25th cotton. I sure be glad to get some of it to our bigger fields and flatter fields where we can really let this thing walk the dog. You know, right now we're limited to somewhere between 3.5 to 4.5 miles an hour, just so I don't slam my heads into the ground, give my header height control time to adjust to the different terrain or whatever. Like right here is a pretty nice spot, but there's not a whole lot of areas like this on the farm. Tell you what, I sure am glad to have a picker that's got functioning road track on it. You know, my last picker had it on it, but the last 4 years I just couldn't get it to work right. So really nice to have that to lets me monitor everything I need to, and rather than just sit here all day sawing back and forth on the steering wheel. And it's working real well. Now on my in roads and curved roads, it doesn't do near as good, but on straight roads it does fantastic. Now, it's got a little knob over here that I could adjust the gain on it to go around curves and stuff, but if I'm gonna sit there and play with the knob, I might as well turn the steering wheel. I know the past day or so I've been talking real bad about BBI and their piss poor customer service, and Jason, the guy that's helping me get that rate controller and everything set up, that's been dealing with them here for this project for a while, called me back a little while ago and said actually 2 people called him back from BBI about our problem while we couldn't get the chain to start moving with the rate controller, and neither one of them had an answer, and said someone will be calling him back Monday with an answer. So we didn't get a solution, but at least they did call back on a Saturday, so that's got to be worth something. Still not happy with them, but I just want to get my litter spreader up and running so Andy can be spreading litter while I'm picking cotton. That way, as soon as we get done picking cotton, all my fertilizer spread, I can drop right in there and plant wheat, and don't have to wait on Andy to get the chicken litter spread on it. Never in my wildest dreams will I imagine it would be this freaking difficult to get a rate controller installed on that litter spreader. Everything else is working fine on it. We can read fan speed and setter rate and everything else. We just can't make the bed chain spin to actually apply the product. All right, looks like it's kind of clouding up a little bit back over there. Let's check the weather.
Swell around the region. A strong cold front is making its way slowly across the Mid-South and will eventually usher in an early season Arctic air mass across the region. In the meantime, rain showers will gradually overspread the region. Rainfall rates could be heavy at times, resulting in over 3 inches of rain in portions of East Arkansas, tapering off to less than 1/4 of an inch in northeast Mississippi. Sub-freezing temperatures are expected Tuesday morning, stretching through midweek. Tonight, showers. Chance of rain 90%. Sunday, showers. Chance of rain 90%. Sunday night, showers. Breezy, cooler with lows around 40. North winds 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Chance of rain near 100%. Monday, cloudy with showers likely in the morning, then partly sunny with a slight chance of showers in the afternoon. Breezy, cooler with highs in the upper 40s. North winds 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Chance of rain 70%.
Well, like I said, every weather forecast that comes out, better chance of rain and more total accumulation. What do you say? Something like 2 to 4 inches of rain possible northeast Arkansas, and then gradually getting less as you come east and south. So say we get 1.5 to 2 inches. Won't knock us out for a while, and it sure ain't gonna be good for this cotton crop, but ain't nothing I can do. The way those clouds are looking over there, let's check the radar, see what it looks like. Ooh, it's closer than I thought. See that blue dot right there? That's where we're at. Let's put it in motion here. Yep, it's slowly coming over this way. Now, if we were running our old picker with the module builders right now, I'd be in a serious predicament. Because, it takes a minimum about 8 to 9 bales to be able to pull off one of our old style modules and it actually hold together. You're looking at about 2 basket dumps. Plus, you got to pick it, you got to dump in the bowl buggy, then the bowl buggy has to dump in the module builder, and it's got to pack it down, then you got to pull off and get tarped, and all that stuff takes time. And when you got a cold front quickly approaching like us, it'd be up on you before you know it, and you might get caught with your pants down. The most beautiful thing about this system is not how much quicker it is. We get days like today, I can see rain coming across the tree line. All I gotta do is stop, empty my accumulator in the baler, hit that button right there, and all my cotton is wrapped and protected. It takes me a total process about 45 seconds So if we still had our old picker right now, I'd be constantly watching my radar, trying to decide if we got enough time to get another module built and get pulled off before the rain gets here. And you know, most likely I'd either shut off too early and waste valuable picking time, or two, the most likely thing that would happen would be I would push the boundaries too far and we get cotton wet. There I was talking again, not paying attention. Had a full module needed to jack and my accumulator got full. So it's days like today that I'm so glad we got this picker. It takes stress off my shoulders, no worrying, whatever. We'll pick as long as we possibly can. When we see that rain marching across that tree line, we know our day's done, wrap the module, go home. Don't have to stand out here in the rain getting soaked, trying to pull off a module and getting it tarped and all that kind of stuff.
Well, the cotton stalks look good, but the cotton stalk cutter is currently throwing crap all over my windshield. Yay! I believe I just busted another hydraulic hose that picks up the blade and everything. I'm not sure exactly which one just yet, but while it's still rolling, while we're still going, I'm making it back to the service truck. Well, I can't even hardly see out of this side of my window now. So, yeah. Well, scratch that thought. I don't believe we're going to be able to get the hydraulic hose fixed today. We made it back to the truck. Found my hose that was leaking, and it is this one right here. It's going from up here to just this little fitting right here. So I was looking under here, and it goes to right there. And as you can tell, there's not really a good way to even get to it right there. So I came up here and took this plate off under the radiator and over just that covers this bottom right here. And you can see the fitting very well, but when you go to put a wrench on it, I mean, it is almost impossible. I can't start it at all. And like, I have the wrench on there right now, but you can't turn. So this is going to be a in the shop project, because one, it is getting kind of dark out here, and it actually has just started sprinkling on us. So Kelly is hurrying up and getting all the bales and stuff that have already been baled up and rolled. I mean, not bales, modules, but she's getting all those brought over here just so we don't have to play in the mud with those. And I am going to attempt to take the tractor back to the shop without spraying hydraulic oil everywhere. And like I was saying, it was all over the windshield. I mean, you can see the fog. This side is totally blinded, but they got it blown off. We've got access panels to that hose off, and hopefully we have enough hydraulic oil to get us to the shop.
Oh, this 4440, I'm about ready to soak it down with diesel fuel, light it on fire, and push it off a hill somewhere. This thing has done nothing but give us problems day after day, especially hydraulic problems. Now Andy's got another line busted on the tractor, but with this rain coming in, and man, that horizon ain't looking too good. Looks like we'll have several days to work on it. So I told him clean the bush hog up and try and limp the tractor home. Hopefully we won't lose too much hydraulic oil, because I certainly don't feel like working on this thing in a muddy cotton field with a north wind blowing about 15 to 20 miles an hour when it's about 35 degrees outside, like Noah says it's going to be come Monday. We're only about 2 miles away from the shop, so he should be able to get it in.
All right, well, we made it to the shop. You can't see through my windshield pretty much at all, and perfect timing, actually. It's just started raining. We definitely left us a little trail all the way back down to the field, but it's back at the shop. Now we can take it off and not be in the mud, and we have a nice Monday or rainy day project, so yay. See y'all then.
Well, I think it's time to call it quits. The rain has arrived here. It's been sprinkling for about the last 10-15 minutes, and now it kind of started to get a little damp, like it's got a heavy dew on it. And everybody tells me one thing these baler pickers do not do well is handle damp cotton. You'll plug up that accumulator back there, and I really don't have a desire to spend several hours digging that thing out just to get a few extra pounds of cotton picked. So we're gonna finish this module out right now. I'm feeding it in manually because we don't want anything left in our accumulator. So we just about got a full module, and then we're gonna wrap it and call it a day. Ooh, whoa, there is a hole there. All right, I got my accumulator empty. She's ready to wrap. Watch that wrap come around the edge there. You can see it right there, kind of shiny. All right, we're gonna flush out our heads real good. Then we're gonna go up there and dump the module where Kelly's got them staged and carry the picker back on in the shop, get it under a shed. This harvest equipment is a whole lot easier to clean up at the end of the year if you can keep it from getting rained on. And I don't know if we'll be able to do it later on when we get too far away from the shop, but for now we're going to try. We're only a couple miles away from the shop, so we got to do a little bit more work on it this evening too, get it ready for the cold weather, because it's definitely going to drop below freezing before we get back to picking. Look at all those marshmallows that the marshmallow manager has lined up nice and pretty. I think she's starting to enjoy her job. All right, because it's supposed to get down like 26 degrees one night, probably before we go back to picking, we draining all the water out of the system, and then this nice little air valve I installed, we're gonna blow all the water out of it, keep all the lines and stuff from freezing. I wasn't expecting to get to test that so soon in the season. I figured we'd at least be done picking before I had to blow the lines out. So we're gonna get that done, and I clean the heads out, call her a day, and see what Mother Nature brings us over the next few days.